We're supposed to have already started. Well, tonight we're hearing from the family of a missing pregnant teenager. She was found dead over the weekend in Barnwell County. What we know so far about the investigation. Plus, one group believes they have a tactic to make sure that former President Donald Trump doesn't win the state's presidential primary. Why some are saying the tactic is a bad idea. Your news at 5 starts right now. Well, good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us for a special edition of Watch Fox News at 5 on all our digital platforms. I'm Friendly Clairvaux. Well, tonight, the family of a missing pregnant teenager is certain someone killed 17-year-old Malaysia Hogg. The teen was due to give birth to a baby girl this month before she was found dead in Barnwell County on Sunday. And get this, just half a mile from where she lived. Our Kiana Jordan talked with her family today about what they want to see happen next.
Friendy, today was a very sad day for the family of 17-year-old mother-to-be Malaysia Hogg, and they say for months she was happy and excited to become a mother to her daughter. On Monday, the family of 17-year-old mother-to-be Malaysia Hogg gathering where her body was found just a day earlier. Barnwell City Police found the pregnant teen around 3:45 Sunday afternoon near the corner of Perry Street and Main Street in Barnwell County.
Whoever did it need to be in jail because she on a child with a child, you know what I'm saying?
The teen's family says Malaysia was 9 months pregnant and was scheduled to be induced on February 13th. They say she already named the child London Charity after her mother, who died a year and a half ago.
Because she was excited to have the baby, you know what I'm saying? I know somebody did something to her.
Malaysia Hogg's aunt reported her missing on February 8th, but says they didn't get any help from law enforcement. So the family reached out to investigative researcher Kimberly Kite with the Broken Link Foundation for help.
When a family reports a loved one missing, police have got to listen to the family.
Kite says the family thinks Malaysia was walking to see her boyfriend, who lived just a couple streets away, the day she disappeared. Kite believes not enough was done to find Malaysia because the teen had a past of running away from home when her mother was alive. But when the teen missed her February 13th appointment to be induced, they knew she was in trouble.
The question I think everybody's asking right now is, what could she have done so horribly wrong to deserve something this horrific to happen to her, you know? And will there be justice?
Watch Fox News did reach out to Barnwell Police to find out how she was found and what happened to her, and we were told that we wouldn't be able to get any information due to the President's Day holiday. Back to you, Friendy.
All right, Kiana, thank you so much for that. Another headlines tonight, a critical issue being talked about on campus tonight in Orangeburg. Students, advocates, and a survivor will be talking on dating violence. It's happening at South Carolina State tonight. Our Jake Holman is live on campus. So, Jake, can you tell us what's the pulse of the area tonight?
Yeah, Friendy, the South Carolina Victims Advocate Program is inviting Natalie Purdy, a domestic violence advocate, expert, and also a survivor, to speak to students here at South Carolina State to help raise awareness about this issue. Now, that all begins tonight at 6 o'clock at the MLK Auditorium here on South Carolina State's campus. And according to the South Carolina Coalition Against Domestic Violence and Sexual Assault, teen dating violence is more common than you think. 1 in 3 teens will experience abuse by someone they are in a relationship with before they officially become adults. And that's exactly what this issue some people here will be tackling tonight. There also isn't a domestic violence law in this state that applies to situations like that. But right now, there is a push at the State House. Now, tonight's discussion, again, is open to the public. It'll get started here at around 6 o'clock at the MLK Auditorium. And the State Victims Advocates Group is encouraging students and others to speak up. More on that story tonight here on Watch Fox News at 10. Now I'm reporting live here in Orangeburg. Jake Coleman, Watch Fox News, local first.
All right, Jake, thanks for that. Well, for a complete look at all your top stories, you can download our Watch Fox News app by scanning the code right now on your screen. With it, you can get breaking news and push alerts in real time. And at this hour, let's check in with Clara Faith, who is in our Skywatch Weather Center. Clara, what can we expect tonight for the rest of the week?
Well, Friendy, today has been pretty pleasant. I mean, overall, beautiful skies across the Midlands. Here's a look at downtown Columbia. I don't know how your weekend went, but I think this week is going to be a good week for all of us across the Midlands. Let's go ahead and jump into the weather headlines. Pleasant weather, dry stretch ahead. As we continue throughout the week, we will see temperatures tend to go slightly warmer. Another thing that we can expect is some rain chances to return as well. Here's a look at what's happening downtown right now. Temperatures at 58 degrees, calm winds, not much going on. Our dew point is pretty staying steady, so we are getting temperatures that we feel outside. Another thing across the Midlands as well, most of us are going to be in the 50s. It looks like 54 for Manning, Sumter as well. Over in Orangeburg, 58 degrees, Newberry 59. As we continue to go throughout tonight, temperatures will start to drop, getting cooler. We can see us down into the low 40s by 11 p.m. hour. As we move into overnight, temperatures will start to actually decrease. We're going to be getting some cold air. Now, we do have a high pressure system that is building across the southeast. As it pushes throughout the southeast, do not think it's just going to be bringing us some warm weather. No, we're going to actually have some cold air moving with this. As this cold air moves in, we're going to be seeing temperatures like this for some of our mornings. Once again, we're below normal, close to sub freezing in the upper 20s and low 30s, pretty much staying consistent throughout what we're going to be seeing as we go throughout the rest of the week. Newberry 29 degrees, Manning at 31, Sumter 30 as well. As we keep pushing out to tomorrow afternoon, we're going to be climbing back into the upper 50s. Pretty much a lot of sunshine. We do have a little bit of cloud coverage that will be building up. We could see some medium to low clouds as we do go throughout tomorrow. I wanted to say this because I did say we're going to have some pleasant weather. We're going to have some pleasant temperatures and slightly warmer temperatures. It's like a stair step. Things are going to start climbing up. By the time Friday comes in, we do have our next weather maker. This next weather maker will be bringing us some slightly warmer air, but not just warmer air. Rain chances are increasing as well. Right now, the models are flipping between Thursday night going into Friday, but I'm still debating on which one I'm going to see. Right now, I think Friday is going to be our highest chances of rain. I got 60% down. 60% down. As we go throughout the rest of the week, rain chances will be the thing that I'll be watching, especially for Thursday night heading into Friday. But for right now, let's just enjoy the weather. Mostly cloudy, mostly clear skies. Not too bad when it comes to pleasant temperatures. And overall, the Midlands, we got some pleasant weather ahead.
All right, Claire, thanks for that. Well, businesses and schools across the country were closed today to honor President's Day. You're taking a live look here at the White House on this President's Day. The federal holiday is celebrated on the third Monday of every February. And while it began as an honor to George Washington's birthday, it now honors all 46 past and current presidents. Well, speaking of former presidents,
what was going
today
on?
we're reminded of the childhood home of 28th President Woodrow Wilson. The house is located in downtown Columbia along the 1700 block of Hampton Street. Historic Columbia gives guided tours of the home. And an interesting fact for you, during the height of Reconstruction, Wilson's parents actually built this house, the only one they would ever own. Well, in your election coverage, preserving democracy in this week's Republican primary, a group rallied at the State House today, pushing voters to do that by not supporting former President Donald Trump. Mashari Adams was there and she is live at the State House now. Mashari, what are they telling folks to do?
Friendy, according to Primary Pivot, our democracy is at stake, and they are urging all voters to get up and get out and vote during the primary, as we're just days away from finding out who our next presidential GOP candidate will be.
He is a loser. He is the weakest candidate on the Republican side.
Robert Swartz taken to the State House steps Monday to talk about the state of the country's democracy. Swartz says a vote for Donald Trump in this week's Republican primary puts democracy at risk.
You've complained for the last 9 years about how horrible Donald Trump is. Well, this is actually something you can do about it.
Swartz is the co-founder of Primary Pivot. The group says the former president's actions and words do not align with their mission.
Has denied election results. He has interfered with the peaceful transfer of power and also peaceful assemble of people and of protesters. So he has interfered with so many of our democracy principles, and I don't believe that he will stop there. So
there are a lot of people who want to argue whether or not Donald Trump and democracy go hand in hand. The rule of law is the rule of law. The Constitution actually played it out on January 6th because the electors were allowed to vote. They tallied the votes, and Joe Biden won.
According to Pew Research, in the 2020 presidential election, 92% of black voters supported Joe Biden and 8% backed Donald Trump. However, former Democratic Party officials say a low 4% turnout in this month's Democratic primary indicates black voters aren't very enthusiastic about this election season.
We talk about Donald Trump's record and why black voters need to make a stand now is because Donald Trump has shown he's willing to go to great lengths to disenfranchise the black voter.
I think that their argument that there are people who are against democracy really does play into what the Democrats are trying to put out there. That's a constant message that's been coming out of the Biden White House. The question is, democracy is whether or not people show up to vote. That's the biggest part of democracy, is you as a voter showing up on election day.
Late today, state Republican Party officials released a statement about efforts encouraging Democrats to participate in Saturday's Republican primary vote. While the GOP didn't name any group specifically, they're condemning those who encourage efforts, and they're pushing for lawmakers to pass a plan requiring voters to register by political party. Live at the South Carolina State House, Misharia Adams, Watch Fox News, Local First.
All right, Mashari, thanks for that. Well, former South Carolina Governor, presidential hopeful Nikki Haley spoke at an event today in Camden. It's all part of her bus tour as she campaigns in the state ahead of Saturday's presidential primary. Now, the discussion was about Donald Trump, how he's not focusing on the country and focusing on his court cases.
Or what bothers me about what's happened after these court cases is at no point has he ever talked about the American people. He's not talked about the fact that we're $34 trillion in debt. He's not talking about the fact that only 31% of 8th graders in our country are proficient in reading. He's not talking about an open border that's out of control. He's not talking about the lawlessness in our cities. And he's certainly not talking about the wars around the world.
Well, Haley's tour continues tonight in Greer, and tomorrow she'll be in Clemson and in Beaufort on Wednesday. And remember that early voting for the South Carolina Republican presidential primary is now underway. Polls were closed today in honor of President's Day, but will reopen tomorrow at 8:30 and close at 6 p.m. You have until Thursday to cast your ballot early. The primary election, once again, is this Saturday. In your political watch, former President Donald Trump is trying to attract sneakerheads. Yeah, so he appeared at a SneakerCon convention in Philly over the weekend and announced he is launching a line of sneakers. So the high-top gold-colored sneakers will cost about $400 a pair. Trump says he's wanted to get involved in the sneaker business for about a dozen years now. The Trump line also will feature less pricey sneakers, including a red version of the shoe called the T-Red Wave and a white POTUS 45 edition. So these sneakers will cost nearly $200. The shoes go on sale this Wednesday at noon. And just a reminder that the former president will be in Columbia this Friday speaking at an honors gala, and then he will be here Saturday as well for an election night watch party at the South Carolina State Fairgrounds. So the U.S. Army has spent hundreds of millions of dollars to support Ukraine's war effort against Russia over the past few months. That's because Congress has not passed supplemental funding for Ukraine recently. Army officials are concerned that without new funding, money will need to be pulled from other critical projects to continue supporting Ukraine. Since October 2023, the Army has spent, get this, over $430 million on various operations.
Well, Mondays are new ranking days in the world of sports, and South Carolina teams, no stranger to being ranked. Let's break down some of the most noteworthy top 25s of the day, starting with the unsurprising. South Carolina women's basketball still undefeated, still #1, and still unanimous. Though it is worth noting for once, not much movement behind them as the top 6 all staying the same this week. Gamecocks fresh off the Sunday win over Georgia, breaking the record for most consecutive SEC regular season wins. If LSU loses tonight or South Carolina wins Thursday hosting Alabama, the Gamecocks will once again clinch the SEC regular season title. South Carolina men's basketball, however, plenty of movement and not the good kind. Gamecocks dropping 9 spots from 11th to 20th in this week's AP Top 25 poll following their first back-to-back losses of the season, blown out at Auburn and letting a 16-point second-half lead slip. Hosting LSU Saturday. They get the midweek off before a trip to Ole Miss this coming Saturday. And lastly, South Carolina baseball, the good kind of movement as they go up 4 spots to number 21 in the country in today's D1 baseball poll. Gamecocks swept Miami, Ohio to open the season and had a combined no-hitter on Sunday. Pair of midweek games next, hosting Winthrop tomorrow and Queens on Wednesday. Clemson baseball, meanwhile, stays at number 10. Coastal Carolina falls to number 25 after a 1-2 start to the year. We will talk more about all that and hear from the teams tonight at 10 and 11 on the Watch Fox Sports Zone.
Our system doesn't protect kids. I feel like parents are out here and their kids are on a battlefield and they don't even realize it.
Well, that battle raging on in the nation's capital, and they're fighting to get a product that has led to injuries and even death of young children. Coming up tonight at 10, we go in depth into an investigation about why a toy parents call dangerous is still on the store shelves. Well, let's take a final look at your weather forecast. Clara, do we have to wear turtlenecks tomorrow morning?
Mother Nature says yes.
Okay, got you. All right.
We're going to be looking at some cool mornings, you guys. Most of us are going to be in the upper 20s and low 30s, Freddie. So maybe you should wear your turtleneck tomorrow.
I got you.
I think
all right.
it'll be looking nice for you. But as we get in through the afternoon, we are going to see some temperatures get up into the upper 50s, low 60s in more of the southern parts of the Midlands. And then it's going to be some cold nights ahead, chilly nights ahead in the 30s. We do start to see temperatures start to warm back up by Wednesday heading into our Friday. Rain chances are expected to return Thursday night heading into Friday morning. We're going to continue to keep you updated as those models will change.
All right, Claire. There you go. Thank you so much for that, folks. We want to thank you so much for tuning in to our special edition of Watch Fox News on all our digital platforms. Don't forget to tune in tonight for Watch Fox News at 10. And until then, visit our website at watch.com for all your news, sports, and weather. Good night.
Have a good night.